cool.
All right, today we're with Ryan, and no, not Ryan, his son Jackson Becker. He's our worship team guitarist for Landmark Community Church. Jackson, welcome.
Thanks for having me on.
Glad you're here. What was it like to be on stage for the first time? Your first time that you were on stage and you had all those people in front of you looking at you.
Absolutely,
what was your first encounter like?
Nerve-wracking, exciting. I've kind of taken it from theater. If you don't have butterflies, you're not in the right place.
Right. Yeah,
it's good to have butterflies,
yeah.
but everybody's been super nice to me and
so
helpful.
So you walk on stage.
Okay, you want me to...
The beginning of the first song, did you mess up at all?
Oh, I'm sure I did. I messed up today.
How long have you been on the worship team?
Mid 2023, 24.
20?
No,
okay.
it would have had to have been 24.
So at least a couple years.
The time flies.
Okay.
I honestly, yeah.
Were you in any bands before that?
No. The only thing I had done is played for, when I was doing Central Theater, they had some productions with live bands on stage, and I played a little guitar for that, but nothing. It was acoustic, and I wasn't mic'd up, and it wasn't that serious.
So when you get up there, you plug in, pastor's like, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. What are your thoughts? So your first time on stage, the first song, do you remember that?
No, and that's what I kind of honestly, and that's what I love about music in a way is I feel like I can just tune everything out and lock into that, the feelings and the words and everything.
So tell me about the mess up. So if you're like, well, I'll ask you first.
Yeah.
When you mess up, what are you thinking when you see like for example a B and you play a D? What's going on in your head when you mess up?
Don't show it on your face. Because I have the worst tell of all time where I go, and then I look around and see who else.
Yes.
I'm like, was I right? Who's wrong? I know I'm wrong, but I have to look around.
So for people who don't know, when you're hearing us play on stage, it's often not the way it went through rehearsal. So the tempo was often different, often very different.
Yeah.
The rhythm occasionally is different, and that's kind of my fault because I'm the bass player. I'm part of the rhythm section. But when we get on stage, we're constantly looking at each other. Is he playing in the right key? This morning, Pastor, we swore he was in the wrong key, but he wasn't. We were in the wrong key, where I was.
Yeah.
And then during rehearsal, we have to... we get the songs ahead of time. We practice them at home, and then we come together as a team, and we put the emphasis on getting the songs done the way we want to play them during the worship service. And when we get to the worship service, things often change.
Rarely is it.
It's so funny because the pastor will look back at Dan and say, "Speed up, speed it up, speed it up, speed it up." And he'll just play louder, which is awesome. Okay, so past the jitters of the mess ups. By the way, we all mess up.
Sure.
So if you're like me, the first thing I'm thinking is don't mess up, don't mess up, don't mess up, don't mess up. And when I mess up, I just stop and I play air guitar. Do you do that?
Absolutely. I will lose confidence and I'll just kind of fake it for a second until I know where I can lock back in. And yeah, absolutely.
So and then. Towards the end of the service, we have at the end of the service we have, of course, most of you know, the kind of the jam session, if you will, where pastor will do a solo or somebody will do a solo, and when we get to that point of the service, you and I are constantly looking at each other. Me and you and Ryan are looking at each other like, where is he going? Where is he going? Where is he going?
Right.
Do we keep going? Okay, and then Ryan will kind of. Your dad will kind of bring it together and he'll say chorus. Yep. And then we start
mouth
playing.
The words. The problem is Scott is so good that he'll just, wherever we start playing, he'll just fill in and sound amazing.
Yeah.
You, me, and my dad, we've got to know, and he'll mouth the words and to know exactly where we are.
Which is funny because I think the very first Sunday I played with the team, it was for them. It was a they were telling me how fun it was to have another piece of the rhythm section.
Absolutely.
And so I was just we're doing whatever, and at the end of the service, Pastor just went in this 4 or 5 minute long solo,
Was that on One God?
I forget what it was.
Because I have some secret recordings of One God. That's where he normally goes the longest in my experience.
And he just went off, and it was fun. I was playing the same four notes over and over, whatever it was, and he was, and it was just a blast.
Yeah.
That's the funnest part for me, is being on the worship team, is just the camaraderie between me and Dan, Janet, the other Daniel, your sister, your dad.
Yep.
And we're all just wondering what's going to happen next. Let's get the popcorn.
Right. I always love when we finish on a fast song like that, because that's when it seems like the jam sesh takes over, and we might go 4 or 5 minutes extra. The recording, that secret recording I was talking about, I think is like 7 minutes of One God, which is 4 chords. But the amount of fun that we're all having with it, with the dynamics, and Daniel's coming in and out and doing crazy fills, and obviously Scott's just ripping.
Your dad was instrumental in me becoming part of the worship team.
Sure.
Was he instrumental in you becoming part of the worship team as well?
Nice pun, by the way.
Okay. Tell me more.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. He was the person who got me into guitar originally. And then I was doing Sunday school, was kind of the way that I was serving, or if you want to call it that, whatever, getting involved with the church.
Yeah.
And I just thought that there were a lot more people who were more qualified and just better at it than I was. And that's when I wanted Jen Hamilton to take over the children's ministry, and she's done such an amazing job.
Right. So tell me, elaborate there. You were part of the children's ministry. What was your role there?
Technically, I was the director of Sunday school, which sounds a lot fancier than it was. It just means I was one of the teachers, and I did all the scheduling, and was kind of the mediator between all the teachers and the elders, and if something needed to be passed on one way or another, that's kind of what I helped out with.
Gotcha.
And it was super fulfilling. I loved it, loved the kids, obviously watching the kids grow, and their performance today was so fun to see.
Yeah.
All of my
that was a blast.
Old Sunday school kids get to do that.
Yeah.
But truly, I just felt like there were other people who were far more qualified, just far better with kids.
That's humbling. That's a very good spirit to have. I mean, I admire that, because there's in my experience, and I'm familiar with that idea of, there's people way better than I am. There's 2 ways of looking at that in my experiences, where you can have there's somebody better than me, so I'm going to step aside and let that take over. But there's also what I found is God using you in that position to kind of grow you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's the same thing with the worship team. Often I've heard where that song you guys sang, it just really hit me this morning. Mm-hmm. I'm so thankful for the words that were in that song. I'm so thankful for, you guys even knowing that was what I needed to hear this morning. And I'm sure you've heard the same, where people just say, thanks, that was an awesome worship service. And we had nothing to do with that. Trust me, we make mistakes.
Yeah, not only that, I mean, this morning I got a few compliments, and it was a rough day. Let's say
really.
It was a bit of a train wreck. Yeah.
The challenge for us is to realize, we're thinking, don't mess up, don't mess up, don't mess up, don't mess up, almost all the time. At least I am, and I know probably most of the team is. When we're on stage, would you agree that we're not there in a prideful sense, like look at me,
Right.
I would rather hide behind Daniel. When it comes to being, in front of people, are you like that too? Do you like being in front of people when it comes to that kind of thing?
Yes and no. Okay. Honestly, I think it just depends on my mood.
Yeah.
If I, and to not hopefully be in a prideful way, but if I have a good week where I feel like I've really walked with the Lord, and
yes,
I'm great being up there and sharing what I guess I have to give to that particular portion of the ministry.
Right.
But if I've had a rough week and I just, you know. It's tough to be like, well, let alone what am I doing in the church? What am I doing up here?
Yes.
And that's something you got to just hammer down on not feeling.
We do not want to be, I can speak for myself, I'd rather not. I mean, I'd rather be in the closet playing the bass.
Sure.
Or,
we got some long cords. We could probably set you up.
Exactly, Just get a wireless out there.
The Wizard of Oz kind of bass man back there.
Yeah. We're here to give and not to receive. And part of the giving portion of it, is to just lay it out there. The mistakes and all, the bad haircut that I sometimes wear a hat, and it's really because I probably got a bad haircut and I don't want to. Pride, I know it, and I'm sorry, I apologize, but I would rather people not laugh at the head.
Focus on the word, not on the hair.
Yeah. Did you see Dave? He looks really weird. So, big question.
Yeah.
What do you find rewarding about being on the praise team or worship team?
I love playing with a band. That's so much fun. It's fun to.
Yeah.
It's just fun to have live music. It's fun to get to be a part of that. Pastor Scott recently helped me find a new guitar that I'm absolutely in love with. So yeah, just having kind of the one hobby all with everybody has been great. But in any facet, it's just great to get involved. Because you end up so much closer with the people that you're involved with, you really get time. Not that we don't build in time at Landmark to get to know people, but sometimes that feels, I don't know, I wouldn't say forced, but a little awkward, and at least for me, sometimes I don't have the easiest time talking to people in that sense, but I've really gotten to know everybody on the praise team very well. So just, getting involved at any point with the church is...
It's a blast.
It's
a blast. I would challenge anybody who's struggling spiritually, struggling, emotionally, struggling with depression or anything like that. What has helped me, this is what helped me, was getting involved with church, helping others, and making that such a huge part of your life. I mean, we're here Sundays, we're here Wednesdays, we're practicing at home by ourselves. A good chunk of our week, and our month and our year is at church. And that it can be a struggle. You can get too much sometimes, and you need to, kind of dial it back.
For sure.
But for the most part, for me, give me more. Let me know what else. Who needs help? What can we do? And I'm kind of guessing that's what you're thinking as well.
Yeah.
You're done with a worship service, and people are getting done with the service. What do you hope people took away from the worship service that you were part of? That's a big one.
That's huge. The selfish answer is I hope they didn't hear me mess up.
Yeah, right.
Which is often a thought. But I think music has a particular way to get us in an emotional state that we could, like any other art form, but it's maybe shorter form and more accessible to everybody. I know there are instrumental songs, not a word in them, that just tear me apart. They're so beautiful.
Right.
And when you add the Word of God on top of that, if that can get somebody in a state of understanding their own, forgiveness or the magnitude of God's love or any of the core biblical principles that I hope that I know are taught at Landmark and that I hope are conveyed by the music.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I want.
That's for me. That's a big one as well. All right, folks. Appreciate you watching this interview. Jackson here is just an amazing guitarist. He's
sure.
He won't say he is, and that's the humility I appreciate about him. But continue to watch these. We got more to come. Other members of the worship team, other members of the church leadership, and other people in the community, worship team members of other churches and things like that. So please stay tuned. Remember to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you get more of these when they come out. And thank you, and God bless.
Landgram Podcast Show. It's awesome, so cool. Everybody's watching. Come hang out with the cool kids. No, really, these guests are very cool.